Hey, good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution, episode 903 weekend edition. Hope y'all had a good Friday. Heading to the weekend. Any hobby plans? None for me. Well, it's not hobby, it's work, it's business. I'll be playing with cards all weekend, but it's shipping and listing, listing and shipping, shipping and listing. So today's shipping heavy day. So I did a lot of sorting yesterday. I did do some listing. I listed about 400 cards yesterday, but I mainly focused on sorting, trying to get. I still have half of my SUV filled with cards from the latest Goodwill palette. A lot of it now is just kind of junk, but I did find some good stuff. Like not like good stuff, but just a lot of like small dollar stuff. A couple Jordans, some Kobe's, stuff like that. Nothing to break the bank. Maybe a few $5 cards. But so now I think I'm to the point where I just need to bring it all in. So I can I have enough for like a bulk sale. And my guy, he's gonna get a good bulk buy this time because I kind of stopped cherry picking. I was pulling some stuff to list in my eBay store, but there's a lot of stuff that's like, screw it. I don't want to deal with it. So there's a couple of good boxes for him for buying for, and what I mean by good stuff is it's basically like $1.50 cards or quarter box cards, but when you're getting them at 10 cards for a penny, it's a damn good deal. So I've got to reach out to him and hopefully I can get my car cleaned out, the next couple days and see if he's in for another one because it's been since mid-April maybe. The last time we did it, he's bought the last couple carloads of bulk from me. So now I've got another batch for him. There was a nice one. There was like a shoe box. It was actually in a New Balance box. And it was a bunch of modern foot, like the last 2 years of football, and there was some color. So I had a couple nice piles that it'll be quarter box cards. But I met, actually, I think early on during the Madison Card Show, I met a couple, husband, wife team that they kind of do cards in like antiques shop. I think they do it on the side. I don't think they're full-time in it. But they had moved to like Northern Illinois from I think Tennessee, or maybe Georgia, because he's a huge Herman. You'd like Mike. He's a huge Georgia Bulldog fan, so maybe he's from like Chattanooga, Southern Tennessee. So we had, and I think when him and his wife came to their first Madison Card Show, I think it was when I had first started advertising on Facebook. And that's where he found the ad. He's like, yeah, I saw your ad pop up on Facebook. Like, hey, it's only an hour away or whatever. And so now he comes to most of the shows. He digs through my quarter boxes. And after several shows, and I see him in Rockford, I see him in Janesville. After several shows, he goes, hey, I'm always looking. He might have even Facebook messaged me. He goes, I'm always looking for certain players, and that's what I'm looking for in your boxes. He goes, I pay, here's a list. Here's what I pay per card. And if you ever come across them, if you want to set them aside for me and, it works out for him, he doesn't have to spend time digging through my boxes. It works out for me because I'm actually getting a premium on some of the players. Like he pays, I think, like $1 a card on Tom Brady, $1.50 to $2 on Kobe. So instead of making 15-20 cents after a bulk discount, I'm getting them for his prices. So the shoe box that I had. So usually I come across a lot of these types of guys in these Goodwill pallets. So in the New Balance shoe box filled with football, I pulled a bunch of Brady, Mahomes, and Rodgers, which are on his list. I think it was like $30 worth in that New Balance box. So hopefully, I don't know if I'll see him next Saturday, if he'll be at the show next Saturday, but I've got a nice pile of all those players that he's looking for to sell him in bulk. So Madison Card Show's next Saturday. Next Saturday, I still have tables available. That's how these card shows roll. January through May, it's like long waiting lists. And now all of a sudden the summer hits and you're struggling to fill tables. So I could have filled April and May, I could have filled 200 tables. Next week, probably going to be at 100 to 110. I've got to go do a lot of confirmations here over the weekend. I do have some new first time, and that's what's been pretty cool. I still consistently get first time dealers. So next Saturday so far, I have 1, 2, 3. I have 4 first time dealers so far. So that's down since probably last summer. But 4 first time dealers that have never set up in Madison. Jim's back. He's been out for several months, so he's back for the first time in several months. The Ferry Brother breaks. They have the back wall. They'll be back. They missed last month. Let's see, who else do we have returning? Joel's back after a couple months off. Chris is back after a couple months off. Let's see, Steven is back for just the second. His first show at Madison was last month. So yeah, in all your favorites. So next Saturday, Madison Card Show, Sheraton Hotel, John Nolan Drive. Probably not going to be a sellout on tables, but there'll be more than 100 tables. We might get there still. Usually the week of, I get a lot of, hey, do you have tables left? Of course, it's usually when I'm sold out when I get those tables. But we'll see how it goes this week. Let's go to the chat. What's happened in chat? Red Light says I'm late. I'm not late on the weekend. I have no start time on the weekend. So typically I say between 8 and 8:30. I think I was maybe a few. Yeah. What I start 8:45 today. Noon would be late. 11 would be late. 8:45, not late. Good morning, Herman. He wants to talk chickens. Tracy, good morning. Good morning, John. John wants to know, did you declare that hat when you went through customs? I bought this hat. Ironically, it's, I think, made in China. It is made in China. It's 100% polyester. Made in China, bought in Italy. I bought this in the Amalfi Coast. I'm not sure which town. It was so freaking hot. And the reason we waited when we went, we did our honeymoon in Italy. We waited until September because by September, it shouldn't be like the dog days of extreme heat, but it was. So like most of our trip was just, so hot, which normally I like. We were out, we did a boat cruise down the Amalfi Coast, and it was so freaking hot. And then, Italy, they don't have air conditioning in most places. So we go, we stop off. It's like, I can't wait to get into air conditioning. There's no air conditioning. It's even more. It's worse in like the stores because it's stuffy and there's people. So I bought this hat just to protect my head somewhere on the Amalfi Coast. Did not declare it for customs. Austin, what's happening? Good morning. Hope all is well with you. Zach says, hello. I'm going to check out the Racine show tomorrow. First time. Too many shows in this area of humans. Is that the Roma Lodge show? I believe Keith runs the Roma Lodge. We were having... we were talking back and forth about because I see John's comment about the state tax agent. Keith, I think, was the first to hear about it, and he saw the webinar. The Roma Lodge, yeah. So Keith runs that show. So yeah, we were chatting back and forth about the tax stuff. Ask the dealers if there's a state tax agent discount. They get pissed at me already because I pay everything in Bitcoin. John says my son was asked if he bought anything when going through customs returning from China, and he said no. Agent asked him where he got the Beijing Beijing, right? Not Beijing. I think most people call it Beijing, but it's actually Beijing. The Beijing Nike shirt he was wearing. Interesting. So, Cooter's in the house. I'm hitting the OKC show this morning. Not enough vintage. Have fun, despite not being enough vintage. No shows for me today. I think there is, what shows are, I think Stevens Point might be. Stevens Point, Wisconsin might be today. The Midwest Monster is today over in, I believe it's in Fishers, Indiana, outside of Indianapolis. So that I do know that is this weekend. So the big Midwest Monster is today. Austin says no show this weekend for me, but getting things ready for next weekend. Awesome. So yeah, from here, like most of the summer, probably just do one show a month. So I'll do one show I will be set up next Saturday in Madison. July, I'll be set up in Madison on the 22nd. Of course, the National, I'll be at the National, not set up, but walking around. And then August, hopefully things are settled down, and because I'll miss the Rockford show in July. It's July 15th. I have so much going on. That seems like when you're in the Midwest, it seems like there's like one weekend every summer that there's like 7 different things going on. That's July 15th for me. So that's my one of my best friends. His wedding is that day. Be a groomsman in that. The Rockford card show that I normally set up is also July 15th. And my high school friends in our chat group, one of them texted last weekend, hey, I'm going to do a mini high school reunion. Let's get together on July 15th. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Come on. So July 15th, that's the weekend where everything is happening. And probably between now and July 15th, something else will pop up like, hey, I'm going to be in Madison. Like some friend that I haven't seen in a decade. Hey, I'm going to be in Madison July 15th. Let's hang out. That's how it always goes. There's always that one weekend, because we have to pile. We have to pile in Wisconsin. We have to pile a year's worth of stuff into like 3 months. John says, you think you'll be going to the National. I know. Here's the strange thing. My wife is being the calmer of us. That's really bizarre. Like usually my wife is freaking out about everything. Like my wife freaks out about what we're going to have for dinner. And I'm like, let's just have freaking peanut butter and jelly sandwich for dinner? Yes. Oh, you must have not grown up poor like me. We eat peanut butter and jelly for dinner and like it. What else? Oh, we got a can of tuna in here. Hey, if Miracle Whip, we can make like a cheap tuna salad sandwich. So my wife's been pretty calm, especially the last couple of days. I got worked up because I was on a roll. Was it yesterday morning? Because Thursday had me freaked out. And I was freaked out because the notorious MIL, remember, I kind of like take on the role of people freaking out. I will freak out. People are calm. I'll be calm. For the most part, though, like when my wife freaks out, I can be calm. And so I was pretty freaked out on Thursday. And my wife comes home and I'm like, oh man, she's going to be crazed. I'm crazed. This is not good. And I'm like, blah, 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 blah. My wife's like, it's going to be okay. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's not going to be okay. She's like, I talked Eric's our contract. I talked to Eric. He says he's going to be there tomorrow. Guess what? He wasn't there yesterday. So yesterday morning, I'm like, okay, it's a new day. My wife's like, this, and this. I'm like, are you effing kidding me? She's like, it's going to be okay. And I'm like, what? No, it's not. So she's been like keeping me calm. Oh boy. So we did have some stuff going on yesterday at the house. We're getting the backsplash in the kitchen put on. Some cabinet. I don't even know if the cabinets were they were supposed to be put in. Siders are still siding, so that's good. So hopefully action starts Monday, like, because it's July, it's June 10th, and it's like shit's not getting done, and I'm freaking out. So Austin says, are you going to go to the Milwaukee card show? You know, I don't think so. I had initially, so Austin's talking about there's a card show at Miller Park, which it's a new name now, I don't know, but where the Brewers play, Miller Park is what we'll call it. So there's a card show, and he put on, Michael is the promoter there, great guy. He came over to the Madison show a few months ago, introduced himself, and he did the show in the Deer District, which I guess went well also. So he's putting one on at Miller Park. I think I don't know the date, but it's right around July 4th. It's like around July 4th, July 6th, maybe. I had initially planned on going July 2nd. Thank you. July 2nd at Miller Park, Milwaukee. But I've just got so much stuff going on right now that I'm going to try to limit my outside stuff. So we'll see. We'll see what July 2nd brings. But I now do not plan on checking that show out. Joe says I'm having issues with ESE not getting scanned. The buyers are asking what's up, and I tell them to just hang on as usual, but they are not showing up, and I end up providing a refund. How do I get reimbursed? That's a great question, and here is your answer. So this is that's the link in the chat to the insurance. Here's how I do it, and you can do it your own way. But what I do is I have a spreadsheet, and let me bring it up. So I have a spreadsheet, and when people, when I'm disorganized, so you're supposed to click on that form, and what you're supposed to do is to get your money, eBay claims to report. Shit, where'd it go? So I keep a spreadsheet. So I've got the order number, the tracking number, the recipient name, and the date the order was placed, because that's important. You have to wait 30 days from shipping before you can file that insurance claim. And that's what I linked. So I keep a spreadsheet to track all that because I get quite a few of them. A lot of times people will say, hey, this was marked delivered. It's like, oh, please give it a couple days. And I know not everybody has used this ESE, has purchased cards getting ESE, so they're not aware, like, hey, it was delivered. And some of them are like, hey, did you deliver it to my house? And I'm like, no, I didn't deliver it to your house. Your mailman did. Like I had one, like, did you put this at the right house? And I'm like, what? I'm like, here's where I shipped it. Well, it says it's delivered. So that's what I do. So basically I do what Joe does. When people reach out, say, hey, this hasn't shown up yet, I say, okay, give it a couple days. If it doesn't show up in 3 days or whatever, file a non-received claim. I'll refund you, and then then I enter it into the spreadsheet, wait my 30 days, and file the claim. I've got to go back in. I've probably missed the book, because I think you only have like 90 days to file the claim or something like that. So you have a window. You have basically a 2-month window to get those claims in. After 30, before 90. So that's the thing. But yeah, just communicate when they reach out. Just say, hey, give it a couple more days, especially if it was marked like if it's today and it didn't show up today, because usually they are a day delayed, at least a day, sometimes 2. I've seen it like 2 weeks, but usually it's a day or 2. So just say that, and if it still doesn't show up, have them fill out the form. If it is marked delivered, you can still get your money. I know early on it was like, well, if it's marked delivered, you can't get your money back. You still can, because I had to file a couple claims. I had to jump through hoops though. My last claim, they were asking for all kinds of stuff. They actually emailed me the insurance, the eBay, it's not eBay, but the ESE, whatever it is. actually emailed me, like a representative, like reached out, and they're like, "You need to give us more information." I'm like, "Holy shit!" Because I can't remember what it was. Can't remember what information. Oh, it was because it was, remember when eBay was breaking up all those transactions? So they wanted like proof of each individual transaction, because I think there were like 12. So I had to put them all in. It was a pain. Zach says she should be more relaxed with a heated toilet seat, right? Let's see. Zach, have a great day. Get on that. I know I haven't been on the I've only been on the e-bike once this year. And it's not going to be today. Maybe tomorrow, we'll see. But I was actually just thinking that yesterday. I'm like, man, it'd be a nice day to go for a ride, but I don't know. Card Hobbyist, good morning. Happy Saturday. What's up, Ziggy? Card Shuffler in the house. What's up? Uncle Rich, good morning. You got any good topics for us to talk about on Hobby Hotline today? Ooh, are you on, Uncle Rich? You know what I'm a sucker for? I'm a sucker for classic personal stories. So if you can, in the next hour, in the next 52 minutes, if you can think of a topic, and I'm sure you can, I wonder if I have any old, I think I looked previously. Damn. I was hoping I had like an old baseball card magazine or Beckett laying around to give me an idea. But I want to hear, like, I like historical firsthand accounts, like when you and Dr. Beckett just talk about the old days. That's what I like. So if you can think of anything like that, maybe the chat has some recommendations. Those are my good. That's what I enjoy to listen to. Shane, good morning. John said, thought it changed to 15 days. I don't think so. Let me see. Maybe it did. Let's see. So you do have 90 days. That's still, the site doesn't even say 30 days. Maybe it is. I don't know. So it's either 15 or 30. So, but no later than 90 days. They do spell that out. Card Shuffler says, we are in the process of selling our house, showing it daily, exhausting. Yes, it is. Hopefully this doesn't conflict with the national. Looks like I may be going just for the weekend. We went through that. Fortunately, we had just one day. We scheduled all of our showings on one day and got several offers, accepted the offer on like the next day. So it was pretty painless, but I had to keep it clean, like for the pictures. And then it was like 2 weeks until, so I had to be like on my game, which look around. This room actually didn't. I just picked up a lot of the shit that was on the floor, cleaned up the desk a little bit, but everything else stayed in here. But I feel your pain. I feel your pain on keeping it in show condition. Denver Colts fan, what's up? Good morning to you. Do you list lots? And if so, how do you come up with a price, including package shipping costs? Ooh, that's a great question. That is a great question. I do list lots, not regularly. So for example, last weekend, I was sitting at my mom's house after a few beers on the deck and came inside and decided I'm going to go because I have an SUV full of cards still that I haven't looked through from Goodwill. I'm going to go through a box, and the box that I brought in had a ton of, do I have them around? I have them in a box somewhere, of like football player lots. Rod Woodson, Mike Singletary, Cortez Kennedy, Marcus Allen. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to do lots because the work's already been done. Because that's the hardest part, or not hardest, but the most time spent is sorting them. I got a sneeze coming on. So that's already been done. I just got to count them and splay them out, take a few pictures. So I listed like 5 or 6 player lots. The Marcus Allen lot sold, boom, right away. Pricing kind of depends. So these were basically all, like junk wax era, although some of the Marcus Allens were early. The earlier ones were team leader cards, though, so it's not like second year tops on his own. So I think I listed his at, there was 100 cards, and I think I listed at $25. So that's what, 25 cents per card or best offer. And I took an offer of $20. So 20 cents a card. Thought that was a hell of a great deal for both parties, really. So that's kind of where I price it. And it all depends. Like I'm going to put a big Michael Jordan lot up because what I've found is I've kind of been hoarding Jordans because I don't put them in quarter boxes. And usually, like surprisingly, a lot of Jordans are like $1.50 cards on eBay or $2.50. And if you list them for $2.50, it kind of takes a while to sell Jordan cards, which is kind of baffling to me. But I've seen lots. And actually, my buddy Shane was telling me about Jordan lots and how I won't spill his beans, his secrets, but so I've been building up, and I decided to do this when I was building my quarter boxes for one of the last shows. And I was building my quarter boxes, and I was going through boxes, a lot of them from Goodwill that it's like, I'm going to list these eventually, and they got lost in this mess of cards. And there's like, hey, there's 4 Jordans here. There's 6 Jordans in this box. There's 8 Jordans here. I'm going through this Goodwill palette. Jordan here, Jordan there. I'm like, damn, I could probably get at least a 50 card lot, if not a 100 card Jordan lot put together. And, there's probably a few inserts that are $5 cards, maybe a $10 card. Put those in. There's going to be some like checklist with Jordan, from Upper Deck. The finals where it's not really a Jordan card. It's basically a quarter card. You spill those in there. You put some $5 cards in there. Boom, you get maybe $2 a card, $1.50 a card. So, a quick $100 to $200. So that's kind of how I approach it. Ken Beans Ball Card blog at one time was doing player lots of like 5, 6, 7, 8 cards. For like $5. And with ESE, you can, 2-ounce, 3-ounce shipping. And I did that for basketball. And it ended up working really well for me. It wasn't a hot seller. And I think the biggest reason was I didn't have volume. I had like 10 lots. Eventually, most of them sold. I think maybe I have 1 remaining. And I priced them at like $5 for like 8 cards. And they actually sold. So you'd be surprised. And if you have a bunch, if you decide to do a whole bunch of them, and I always wanted to, but again, it's the time spent sorting. And maybe I just need to, sit down for a day. It's like go through my quarter boxes. Maybe when I'm sitting at the Madison card, well, I don't really sit much at the Madison card show. The next Rockford or Janesville show that I set up at, damn it, I gotta blow my nose. I'll spend some time digging out, players for lots. So, player lots can be good on eBay. I'll put first Bowman lots. A lot of times people are looking for, player lots for autographing and stuff or prospecting. So it kind of works both ways. And then and I guess to answer your shipping costs, it just kind of depends on, how big the lot, you can get, I'll ship up to 10, 12 cards in a PWE 3-ounce standard envelope. So that's $1.08, $1.08. The Marcus Allen, I priced in like $4 shipping because that was 100 cards. It was going to go in a bubble mailer. So just make sure to price appropriately, whether it's $1.08 or, $4, $5 for a bubble mailer, etc. Rich says, send me your email address and I'll give you a preview of my next Hobby News Daily article. Okay. I figured out how to, my 1 million Cubs Project at Gmail. So 1 Million Cubs Project at gmail.com is my email address. I can actually read emails now. It's not, I figured out a way to stop all of the eBay. I had like 500,000 eBay messages. What's my total count? Not five. I was exaggerating on that. So my current inbox is 192,571. But that would probably be 500,000 if I had not figured out how to filter out eBay messages. Because I was getting emails from eBay on messages, on listings, on sales, basically everything that was done through eBay, I was getting an email about. So I figured out how to stop that from happening. John says, I don't think Hobby Hotline is built for personal historical stories. Seems a turnoff. Yeah, I don't know what Hobby Hotline is built on. That's my turn on. Personal historical stories, turn ons, personal historical stories. A turn off for me is what's Fanatics going to do? What's the new CEO of Upper Deck? Or that's a turn off for me. So everybody, every topic is a turn off for somebody, and everybody has their different. Chat agent from eBay told me it was 30 days a few days ago. TD Sports Cards in the house. Henry says, what's this about Topps opening their own best cards? So yeah, so I've seen this story, and I really don't have I guess I do have an opinion. I don't really care because I'm not opening those. I guess maybe if I was opening that type of product, I would care. So basically what happened was Michael Rubin sat down with a soccer player, football, Antoine Griezmann. They opened a box of high-end baseball, and they pulled, I think it was a cut auto 1/1 Jackie Robinson. And it's funny how, Drake pulls this and somebody pulls that, and it's all these celebrities that pull these huge cards just on the off chance. Now, I can expect when Backyard Breaks pulls a big hit, you expect that because look at how much product they're opening. They're opening a ton of product. Yes, they're going to get huge hits because they're opening volume. When you buy a hobby box of Topps Series 2, which is out this week, you go buy a hobby box of Series 2, a single hobby box, you might get a really crappy box. And you say, this box sucks. You go buy a case, and you might get a nice pull. And you buy 3 cases, and you might get a really nice. It's all on volume. But yeah, I know somebody could buy a blaster box at Walmart and pull a huge hit. It's a gamble, folks. It's a gamble. But it's funny how these celebrities pull these big cards. So I think there is something. I think there. It's kind of like Storage Wars. Remember Storage Wars? I love that show. Is it still on? And they admitted to planting stuff. Because have you ever been to a storage auction? Or have you ever seen, there was a storage auction here in Madison a few months ago, and I looked at the photos, and it was like junk. Like, it was just in there, and basically you buy this storage unit, and you're going to hook up your trailer, and you're going to take it straight to the landfill. That's what it looked like. Now, I was not there. I didn't see any news stories on $1 million item that was in the storage unit, but I would venture to say most of the storage unit auctions are filled with junk. But you film it and you put it on TV. Is anybody going to watch people bidding against each other for junk? No. They want to plant stuff. And, oh my God, did you see Storage Wars last night? They pulled $1 million ring, blanket, carpet, whatever. So there's George. What's up, George? My uncle owned a mini storage. The stuff that went unpaid was absolutely trash. 99.99% of the time. Because most people, if they have good stuff in storage, don't you think they're going to pull it out of storage before it gets, before they stop paying the bill and get it taken away? I know there's some dumb people that probably would, or maybe they go to jail or die, and they don't have the opportunity to pull their good stuff out. So that's the 0.1%. The other 99.9%, that's people pulling the good stuff out, leaving the trash in. I'm not paying for trash and storage. So that's my thoughts. I don't know if this was a thing where you, and I speak to you as the chat or anybody listening later, but it seemed like in the early 90s, storage units were like a big investment, like people that were looking for somewhere to put their money. It wasn't going into real estate. It was going into well, I guess it was the land to put storage units on. And so we had like just friends of my dad. Hell, my brother put like 4 storage units up. My brother's best friend, a friend of my dad, built a big storage unit in our small town. One of my dad's best friends put, and he's still got, I noticed it today. There's vacancy as I was driving in. It's just outside of Anawan. So there's multiple storage units, and it was all like in the early 90s. Like this is a way to put your money. And George says he made a ton of money from selling them. Yeah, there must be good money in storage units. Hell, there's a storage, and I guess not just early 90s, but just down the way, just across the field from my backyard, there's a big, and this is a really like fancy, this is going to be, if you want to put your shit in there, better be good shit, because it's like indoor climate controlled storage. I saw that when they were building that, when they started building it, they broke ground last year. I'm like, oh, I can put my baseball cards in there. And then when it said climate controlled, I'm like, that's expensive. I don't want that. So yeah, I don't know if that was a thing where you guys were, but early 90s. And I mean, my town was 800, like my town population is 800. And there's, and I can go through town real quick. So there's 1 just outside of town. There's 2 on the north edge of town. My brother has 4 or 5 units. I'm trying to think if there's any others. There's gotta be, there's more than those 3. And maybe it's just top, because they were all like friends of the family or friends of the family. Let's see, where are we at? Rich says, I'm going to have a different topic today, which I'll sneak in. I like it. I will be tuned in because I'll be shipping this morning. Drake in the Fleer box break pulled exactly what he was supposed to in terms of 86.7 Fleer Jordans. So that was not an issue. Oh, so it wasn't there another Drake? I guess, what was on gold, and he did not pull what he was looking for. So Drake was a bad example. Henry says, one time I opened a box and got a card that becketed. I don't know what that means. Henry says, yes, Storage Wars still going. My favorite was it Dave? Yep. That was my favorite. I think 1 or 2 of the main characters from like the original, I think have passed away, right? Let's see. Let's Google this. Just what you want to do. Entertainment on a Saturday morning. Bo Googling Storage Wars cast. Daryl Sheets. I didn't like him. Brandy Passante and Jared Schultz. They were like I don't know if they were husband, wife, or boyfriend, girlfriend. Dave Hester. Yep. Barry was very eclectic. Barry was a fun character. Dan and Laura were like the owners, or they held it up. Brandon Sheets. I think Brandon might have been Daryl's son. Oh yeah. Both last name Sheets. So let's Wikipedia Storage Wars. When did this start? Oh, originally aired in 2010. My parents loved Storage Wars. They're big. My mom is a big antiquer and all that stuff. So it looks like they're on season 14. So characters now, the main characters Brandy is still on it. Barry's still on it. That's good. Dan and Laura are still the auctioneers. Ivy Calvin, the king. I don't know him. Renee and Casey Najota. I don't know them. Kenny Crosley. I don't know him. So it looks like Brandy and Barry are the only regulars from like the original that are still on the show. Maybe one of them didn't. I thought one of them died. Maybe not. Okay, moving on. Where we at? George says he bought cheap land and was a contractor, so was able to do the work cheaper, then sold later at market value, which was much higher than the initial investment. There you go. Love it. Joe says, don't store cards in storage units without enough insurance to cover the collection. Someone picked the lock on mine, took a ton of my cards. The insurance maxed out at $3,000. I took a loss. That's a bummer. See, and this kind of goes against my storage would be like junk. My storage would be like 90. I don't want to store the 90 Donruss in my house, which kind of goes against like, so you're paying. Then this is why I don't have a storage unit, because I would be paying to store my 1990 Donruss. That seems backwards, and it is. That's why I don't have a storage unit. So the new house, I have plenty of storage space for my 1990 Donruss. But I need to get rid of a couple more truckloads before we move, which is hopefully a month away. Let's see. Paul Heath, what's happening? Henry, good morning. Money owns this town. Yes. Barry was the best. He's the guy that I aspire to be. Some random old dude that dresses crazy, owns a lot of crazy stuff, and apparently has a lot of money to blow. Yeah. Isn't that like, he doesn't give two shits what, like, I'm going to do my thing, and he has money to do it. The best of both worlds. Renee Najota has a YouTube channel that did sports cards and comics. Oh, really? I'm going to have to, maybe if I can find some, maybe if, is Storage Wars on like any streaming platform? I'm sure it is. Oh, it's on A&E. So I don't think the stuff that streams A&E, I don't think I have any of those platforms. But it's got to be on like one of the free apps. Like the old stuff has to be on like Pluto. But I want to watch the new stuff. I've seen the old stuff. Storage Wars streaming. Oh, it's on Hulu. You got to pay for it on Amazon. Is it on Peacock? Let's check that out, because I have Peacock and I'm signed in. I watch my wrestling. When I want to watch wrestling while I'm shipping, I turn on the Peacock. I've been watching early 90s WWF superstars lately. Let's search Storage Wars. Oh, but speaking of Peacock, we started watching based on a true story. Storage Wars is on. Wow, they got 10 seasons on here. Sweet. They got season 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Awesome. So I'll binge Storage Wars at some point. We started watching based on a true story, which I like true crime. I like Kaylee Kuko. Very good show. It's on Peacock. It's about true crime. It's like a comedy. It's not quite as dark as, there's some pretty like gory moments where it's like, ew. It's kind of like it's Dexter, but not as dark. It's a light-hearted Dexter. It's because it's more comedic than Dexter, and you're kind of rooting for the bad guys. Dexter was essentially, Dexter was like a bad guy that was a good guy that killed bad people. I guess, and based on a true story, it's a bad guy that kills good people, but you still kind of root for them because they're likable characters. Based on a true story, streaming on Peacock. Merle, what's up? Good morning. I found the time to start using Car Dealer Pro thanks to a promotional code CUBS, C-U-B-S. Awesome. So now I am listing and listing. I love it. Hope the shipping kicks in soon. Love it. Yeah. If you want to sign up for Car Dealer Pro, use promo code CUBS, C-U-B-S. Once you sign up for a paid subscription, you'll receive 500 free scans using that promo code Cubs. Go to cardealerpro.com. Rock Latex, what's up? Mark Belilo from Storage Wars committed suicide years ago. He wasn't a regular buyer cast member. Okay, maybe that was in the news, and that's what I was thinking. Everyone hit the red light. Everyone hit the like button. Thank you, red light. Like, subscribe, and all that fun stuff. Had a buyer leave a neutral feedback on an order they made 3 months. They made 3 months ago that they canceled, said they did not mean to make the order. eBay removed it. Yeah, if you go to help and contact on eBay, if you ever need negative or neutral feedback removed that falls in line with their removal policy, it's a fairly easy process. Paul said, looked over his feedback for the last year. He's leaving people's accounts with negative feedback, item not received cases. That sucks. So if you go in, search for feedback removal, let's see, it's kind of a pain to get. I do this fairly regularly, and I still always struggle finding where exactly to go. Feedback policies, handling feedback disputes, viewing and changing. Let's go to feedback policies. Feedback misuse. Learn more about feedback profiles. So it takes quite a few clicks to get to where you need to go. And it's at the very bottom. Oh, and that's not it. Feedback misuse, maybe? You would think it'd be a lot easier to find, but it's not. But anyway, click around. I don't exactly know what to, I have to click like several times to find it, but there's just a form. It's an easy form to fill out. Not all the time will eBay side with you, even if they should. And I want to try to find it because I have an example. I have some neutrals that it even says it was the mail's fault and they didn't remove. Oh, shit. Report the seller. Okay. It's at the very bottom and it says, this is like the 8th article I've clicked on and I still can't find it. Jesus H. So it is a pain in the ass to find. I should probably bookmark it. Anyway, find that. I think I had like 14 neutrals. Most of them were left by the same person. And it was like slow shipping, but it's the mail's fault, not the seller's fault. And it's like, well, don't ding me with a neutral. So I was able to get most of them removed, but there was still like, I think I got 7 of the 14 removed. And eBay didn't remove the other 7 for some reason. It said, sorry, it doesn't comply with our removal policy. It's like, well, why did the other 7? I don't know. I don't really care. I do, but I care enough to go find that form and submit those, but I don't care enough to follow up and bitch about it. I'll just bitch about it here. So that's how to do it, kind of. All right, so I'm going to get going. I'm going to go ship, and then, hey, check out Hobby Hotline today. It's on in about 25 minutes over on the Bench Clear Media channel. Our Uncle Rich is on the panel today, so check that out, 10 o'clock Central. I'm going to do a lot of shipping today, maybe squeeze in a little listing. So check out my eBay store. Rock Latex, yes, brings up a great point. I was going through one of my Goodwill boxes, and I saw a Luis Ariz rookie card, and I'm like, he's hitting like 400. So I looked up his base rookie cards are selling for like $3-4. And you'll probably find I probably have 20 of them in my quarter boxes, but I'm not going to go digging. So if I come across them, I'll list them. So yeah, Luis Ariz is freaking on fire right now. So, and his cards are fine. It's taking some time, but his stuff. Does he have first Bowman? Does Luis Ariz have first Bowman cards? I don't think he does. Luis Ariz Bowman. Let's go to, looks like 2017 Bowman Chrome Auto. Let's go to TCDB. TCDB.com. Luis Ariz. His rookie card, I believe, is in 2019 tops. Let's see. Looks like his cards start in 2016. That's probably minor league cards. Yeah, Cedar Rapids Colonels. Oh, he's got Elite Extra Edition in 2016. So there you go. If you're digging through diamond quarter boxes, might find some early Elite Extra Edition. 2017, he's got Bowman Chrome Autos in 2017. It looks like he did not have a base card in 2017 Bowman. It was just the autograph. There was another player that was similar to that. Was it Aquino? I thought, and there was another one too, maybe. 2018 is just minor league releases, and then 2019, I believe, is, yeah, that's his rookie. He's got a ton of rookie cards. Oh, wait, that's not a rookie. He's in Bowman Platinum in 2019. He's in 2019 Chronicles. Wow, he's got flawless cards from 2019 and National Treasures. 2019 Topps Update. So there you go. There you go. Luis Ariz, be on the lookout. And he's probably in a lot of quarter boxes. So if you're at a show this weekend, keep on the lookout for Luis Ariz. Let's see. Rich says, I'm pricing those now, Mr. Gabe, 2017. Shane says, someone gave me a negative because eBay wouldn't allow me to create a packing list. Asked for address to double check and immediately left negative feedback saying I'm a liar and don't want to ship the card. And you're going to run across, the more volume you do, you know, I see a lot of people like, I've got 100% feedback on eBay, and it's like 217 transactions. Once you start getting into the thousands, you're going to run across your 100% is going to go away. You're going to run across somebody, and based on the feedback policy removal, eBay's not going to remove it for you, and you're going to have that red mark of shame, that negative. And again, like it annoys me when I get negative feedbacks, but at the end of the day, it doesn't hurt your account. I've got a bunch of negatives. Some are legit. Like I've had to cancel a few orders because I misplaced the card. Like I'm not lying about a $2 card that was misplaced. I've got seven negatives in the last 12 months, but I've got 14,828 positives. So it just, the more volume you do, the more chance you do of having to run in, the more chance you have of running into a buyer like Shane ran into. Let's see. Scott, what's up? Good morning from 2023 Bowman. Let's see. Shane said he would change feedback when he received cards, so I sent card in a bubble mailer and extra cards to make him happy. He hasn't changed it yet. Yeah, he's a douche. Hopefully he changes it for you. So, speaking of 2020, before I go, I am having trouble landing the plane. Speaking of 2023 Bowman, this was all over a $1.50 David Robinson card. Speaking of 2023 Bowman, I started to finish my 2023 Bowman sorting of like first Bowmans. I'm listing those. I'm not going to do lots with them. I'm going to do, so I have like 25 to 30 of each paper base. So I'm getting those sorted. I think I'm going to run those through my scanner and Card Dealer Pro, because I think Card Dealer Pro has 2023 now in their Card Dealer Pro AI is recognizing those now. Rock Latex says Junior Caminero from 2023 Bowman card number 61 fire. Is it? So I have quite a few that I haven't listed yet. In fact, I think I have a couple right on top here. Because I actually pulled a couple Chrome firsts out of quarter boxes at recent shows. Oh, that's the last year's stuff that I opened. Yeah, there's a Caminero first Chrome. So I'll have to look into that. Did I list? I don't know if I've listed my paper. I think I have listed my paper Caminero. But I'll check that out. Rich says the fact you can't land the plane is why we love so much to listen to you. Thank you. Thank you. So I will have those 20 that maybe I'll finish sorting that later today and get some of those 2023 Bowmans up. Okay, now I'm coming in for the landing. So hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. My eBay store, there's a link in the description to this video. Check that out. Added about 400 cards yesterday, a ton of Griffies. I had almost 100 Ken Griffey Jr. singles yesterday, about 75 Frank Thomas singles. So those are in the eBay store. Check those out. Buy 7 or more at regular price, and you'll get 25% off at checkout. Hobby Hotline's coming up in 20 minutes, so check out Uncle Rich on the panel today over on the Bench Clear Media channel. I will be back on tomorrow morning, probably about the same time, say 8:30 a.m. Central-ish. So with that, like, subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow.